What is going down, Watchdog Legions fans? For most people that saw yesterday's patch rollout, there was a new bloodline that poured onto a DLC for everyone. I would definitely recommend watching that video I'll have tagged at the very end. If you're brand new, hit that subscription bell, knock that notification, and get ready for some future patch notes in the situation of tomorrow. But for today, what we'll be looking at is going to be the new resolves for some that we'll be pushing in the 5.1 and the ongoing stuff for as far as the new update and the known issues of what they've had in the brand new rollover. So let's go ahead and scroll into it, shall we? We can see the resolved in the newer 5.1 inside of the dark pattern for Jackson sometimes stops the following inside of Aiden's during specific missions and the objects, the hotfix to be resolved inside of the release of the coming days. On top of that, where they have the bury your dead, and Jackson wears the face mask for the duration of the mission. On the ongoing for Stadia, the achievements for the pack rat sometimes stop the progressing, and then Aiden would have the drones inside of the detect, where you can have the notification only appears when the detection inside of the trackers is at 100%. Aiden's drones might also sometimes get stuck if bumping into walls when in air. The safe house also comes down to an icon that disappears at certain points in the Bloodline story campaign. For as far as the Devon versus Devon in the London curling, you can see that the playing through some of the missions inside of the timers can sometimes get stuck. This does not affect the missions inside of the progressions. PlayStation 4 and 5 get the final buff of the DLC where it's still appearing as available for purchase, which was an issue when I was looking on top of their Twitter for Xbox and PlayStation fans that were having locked out and they had to hit them up. It was by username. It was really complicated. I mean, the forums were lit up. Even getting this stuff though, you seem like Ubisoft was probably more worried about trying to get people to download this, and it's kind of cool to see them act this fast and try to actually mop up. It's actually really chill. If they put it in like a nice little format for the next thing that's on the list for the text overlays. Sometimes that would occur when profiling characters no longer have the descriptions. For the targets onto the wrong mini-maps and layouts for sometimes appearing if the reloading and the save inside of the Baraka. So that acquisitions, you know, the targets, you're gonna have that. For as far as the deep labs, the workaround inside of the dying is reset and reset the mini-map for as far as that restarting point. Now you can see that there are some stuff that we're going to show with some spoilers for as far as Red King, and on top of the situation of the spans of the workarounds. A lot of the stuff will be linked down below, but let's go ahead and show for most people that wanted to blank out at that point in time. For as far as the MK robots that were respawned inside of the neutralized before, inside of the recovered, inside of Aiden, inside of the equipped portions, working as intended. Now making sure that you grab Aiden's gear before neutralizing the robots. I really do like how they had the spoiler alerts. Like, they're getting really good at their like turnaround rate from the last one to this one. I'm a little impressed. Good job, dev team. On top of the spanners inside of the works, you can see that the cutscenes on the entering wrench inside of the safe house for as far as the interrupted portion if Aiden triggered in combat. The dark patterns inside of players, they could not progress inside of the missions if they were in a side mission in the human cargo, and the active when and entering inside of the Rampart headquarters. For as far as the workaround, restart as always, inside of the lady comes into two portions. After the completing of the mission, and the wrap-up speech sometimes becomes a little robotic. On top of that situation, as you can see, that the mission inside of the objects that can sometimes appear inside of the code rather than the descriptive text. These things that fall apart also have the wrench is utilizing the Captain Boom Boom, if sometimes does not have any effect on the enemy. Aiden's in his hands sometimes clips through his coats, which totally suck, and I mean minor stuff when open inside of the weapon wheel in photo mode. I mean, when in photo mode might be important. But on top of that, for as far as wrench inside of the ninja ball, sometimes exploding too early. having no effect, and an enemy if thrown from a distance. On top of that, for as far as Wrench, has a few more situations that come into it. The Captain Boom Boom sometimes triggers a cooldown for the other abilities. On top of the situation for the Lady Smasher abilities, well, become permanently grayed out. But it's not over. But you can still utilize this if you hit the abilities. While the Sledgehammer animation is in progress, it will return to normal effect while switching over and switching back. That is really complicated. Holy crap. I hope that that's not a workaround. And moving on past that situation, the online and Aiden and Wrench are equipped to the weapons and the other operatives when we're moving inside of that situation and the layout inside of the players. So everyone, that brings us up to the wrap portion. Thank you so much for everyone that did hit me up on top of the comments. I looked and I was definitely like surprised that they haven't tweeted out, like, but you know, here you go everyone. This is your patch note for 1.21. So if you're newer to the network, definitely subscribe. It's absolutely free, helps me manage the creator, and who knows, maybe one day, you know, Ubisoft will send me like a pimped out PlayStation that I can give out to the community, or you know, Xbox that I can keep myself, because I want a PlayStation. I got one, so I can give one out, but if I got an Xbox, I would want to keep it because, you know, they got that Dolby visual, and I don't have an Xbox yet, and I'd really love to test that out. You guys and gals can totally sponsor that, you know, like just Ubisoft, not the fans. Your views count. That's all that matters to me. Anyways, everyone, at the very end of this video, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye. Stay safe, stay classy, and I will see you guys and gals in the near future. Later.